similar, relating with how we move the solid material. If the previous class we discussed about the dryer, yeah, and then now we treat the material how to move from one point to other point. Yeah, so we would like to discuss about the transfer of solid. Okay, and then before starting the material related with the equipment that we will discuss, actually I would like to ask about what is the function of solid transfer. Okay, can you answer this question? I think this very simple question related with the equipment that usually used to transfer the solid. So what is the function? Can you help me to answer this question? The first question in the slide. Yeah. Or can you see this my slide in your laptop or in your computer screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. And then can you answer this one? This question? What is the function?
To move a certain amount of solid from one point to one point, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So it's very clear from the what is the function is clearly mentioned that solid transfer equipment is trying to move from one point. Yeah, and then how to do that one? Yeah, actually that there will be many ways to do that one. Yeah, we can do by using the pump, for example. We can do by using the conveyor. Yeah, whether it will be belt conveyor or bucket elevator. Yeah, or we can use also the pneumatic system. Yeah, I will tell you later about what is the pneumatic system, and then but before we start to discuss about many ways to transport or transfer the solid from one point to other point, yeah, let's see our video relating with the solid transport equipment. Yeah, I believe you already see this video yesterday. Yeah, so I will discuss through this video first. Yeah. Okay, first that I would like to disconnect this one. Okay, stop sharing, and then I will use the full screen sharing. Okay, can you see my YouTube video? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start to see this first video related with the solid transport equipment. Okay, this one is the first type, which is called as the pneumatic conveyor. Okay, so in pneumatic conveyor, okay, we require very strong air, okay, to move the solid particle. Okay, usually is from the bottom to the top side. Yeah, so it's necessary to have a very strong air, yeah, to bring the solid particle from the bottom to the top side. Okay, let's see the video. Yeah, so it's kind of like this one. So in this case, okay, when we supply the air, okay, to the system, so air and the solid particle will move together. Okay, from the bottom, okay, to the top, and then after that, because it's moved together, we have to spare it between solid and gas, the gas that bring that solid particle. Okay, so we also require to have a kind of a cyclone here. Okay, so this cyclone is used to spare it between the solid particle and then the gas. Yeah, as you know that the cyclone have the function, okay, or the principle it used the centrifugal force, yeah, to spirit between the gas and then the solid. Why it can be spirited? Because as you know that the density of solid is much higher compared to gas. Yeah, so the solid will go to the bottom. Yeah, will go down. But for the gas, because it's light, the density is quite very low, so it will go up. Yeah. So this is the principle of the pneumatic conveyor. So we supply the strong air, yeah, to bring the solid particle to the to the top of that system. Yeah, and this one is the belt conveyor. Yeah, in belt conveyor, you can see, yeah, there is a belt in here. Yeah, usually it made from rubber. Yeah, it's made from the rubber. Yeah, and then the solid is put in the top of that rubber belt. Yeah, so and then the movement, yeah, is controlled by this what is the cylinder, yeah, to rotate. Yeah, so we can bring that solid particle from one point to the other point. This is very common way to bring the solid particle. For example, to bring the coal, yeah, from the outside to the inside of the, for example, reformer, yeah, for the reaction. Yeah, and for the mining, it's also the common way to use this one. Yeah. As you know, that is why it's made from the rubber, so we can flip in here. Yeah. So as you know, this is the movement. Okay. Yeah. So it's controlled by the rotation of this cylinder. Yeah. So the speed of the solid transfer controlled by that rotation. Yeah. And then this one is a type of the screw conveyor. Yeah. Screw, it's mean that inside the unit there will be a kind of a helix screw. Yeah, so the screw is look like a helix. Yeah, and then located inside this tube. Yeah, okay, it's look like this one. Yeah, the screw is like the helix, and then this movement. Yeah, so the helix screw will push the rail, yeah, forward. Yeah, you can see in here. Yeah, so the solid particle, yeah, following the rotation of this helix, yeah, it's moved from to the front side like this one. Yeah, so this kind of screw conveyor, and we put or we store, the product in here. Yeah, the use of a screw conveyor is sometimes can be used to segregate the solid particle. So it's mean that is if your solid particle is very wet, it usually has a tendency to agglomerate. Yeah, so it's mean that is if agglomerate, so the size it will be quite big. Yeah, and sometimes we use this screw conveyor actually to help to segregate that particle, to break the agglomeration, into the smaller particle. Yeah, and usually when we buy or when we sell something is related with the solid particle, it's much better that we have the in the smaller segregated one. Yeah, why? Because when we put inside the, for example, inside the bin or inside the bag, it's much easier, to control the number or the amount of the solid particle inside that bin or inside that bag, when the solid particle in the smaller dimension, So sometimes we also use screw conveyor to help us to segregate the particle from the agglomerated one. So this one you can see in here by that movement of the helix. so it can break the agglomeration. Yeah, so you can see in here. Yeah, yeah, it give another force to break yeah, segregate particle to make a segregation. Yeah, and sometimes also it can be used also for the reaction. Yeah, for using the screw conveyor. Yeah, and then this one is a bucket elevator. Yeah, different from the previous solid transfer unit. Yeah, when you have a problem related with the inclination, yeah, for example, you want to bring the solid particle from the bottom to the top side, yeah, but the dimension or the size of the solid particle is quite big, which is you cannot use the pneumatic. In case of pneumatic, you can use when the particle size is quite very small. But in the case that the dimension of the particle is quite big, like this one, yeah, is quite big. So you will use the bucket elevator. So bucket elevator is kind of the bucket, yeah, move from the bottom to the top side, yeah, from like this one, yeah. So you can bring your solid particle, yeah, go up, okay. Okay, at the top, yeah, it will have the opposite direction. Yeah, it is from this side is facing up, but at the back of this line, it will be facing down. Yeah, so it will have yeah, so it will bring the solid particle in a quite big size. Yeah. Yeah, and then we put the product, yeah, inside the hopper in here. Yeah, and then we collect the product in here. Yeah, it will be not continuous, it will be intermittent. Yeah, so but usually when the speed is quite very high, so the feeding, it could almost sometimes is look like a continue. Yeah, although it is intermittent. Okay. Okay, I will back to the slide. Okay. So we have discussed about the pneumatic conveyor, yeah, which is we apply to use the very strong air, yeah, to bring the solid particle, yeah, from the below part to the top part of the unit operation, yeah. So and then we will use a cyclone, yeah, to separate between gas and solid particle. Yeah. In pneumatic, it's usually the dimension of the solid particle. It's quite small. It's a kind of the dust, or sometimes it's kind of the, if you know about the cement, yeah, cement is can be used by the pneumatic, yeah. So the size of the particle is quite small, so the gas can bring the solid particle from the below part to the upper part. Yeah, this will use the pneumatic system. Yeah, which is we require to have the very strong in terms of the gas to bring the solid particle. Yeah, and then we also see, yeah, some mechanical conveyor or elevator. Yeah, so depending on the inclination. Yeah, so for conveyor, yeah, the inclination or the slope of that movement is usually not more than 20 degree. Yeah, So in the case that the elevation or the slope is higher than 20 degree, yeah, usually we prefer to use the elevator, yeah. But in the case that the slope is less than 20, yeah, it is still possible that we will use the mechanical conveyor. But again, it's depend on the type of the solid particle. Yeah. For example, in the case that the solid particle is in the slurry form, yeah, we cannot use the mechanical conveyor. Yeah. Slurry, it means that is the solid particle is mixed with the liquid. Yeah. And then the definition of slurry is quite, the range is quite many. Yeah. Sometimes we call that the case of slurry if the content of the solid particle is around 40%. Yeah. So it will be less than 40%. So it's called the slurry. Yeah. But for the slurry transportation, we cannot use the mechanical conveyor. Yeah. But it's still possible using the, for example, bucket. Yeah. Still it's possible. Yeah. So for the mechanical conveyor, it will have the belt conveyor. Yeah. That usually made from the rubber. Yeah. And that rubber is moving above that rotating cylinder. Yeah. And then the speed of that belt conveyor is depend on that the rotation of that rotating cylinder. Yeah. So if you want to increase the movement of the solid particle, just increase the speed of the rotation. Yeah. And we want to make it lower speed. Okay. Just reduce the speed of that rotation. Yeah. Or there is another type, for example, the zipper conveyor, yeah, or drag type conveyor. We will look at the figure that we have in this slide. Yeah, what is the zipper conveyor and then drag type conveyor. Yeah. Also, we have in the case that the inclination, okay, or the slope, okay, of movement is more than 20%. Yeah, we will use the bucket elevator. Yeah, this is very common to use the bucket elevator. Okay, we use bucket elevator, for example, if you want to store the solid particle to the silo. Yeah, silo has a very tall or very height in terms of the what is dimension. Yeah, so we put that solid material from the top, yeah, of the silo. So we require the bucket elevator. Yeah, and then sometimes we also use the screw conveyor. Yeah, that help us also to segregate the agglomeration of the particle. Okay, and then from this equipment, yeah, we will look at first in the slurry transportation. As I mentioned, that is, if you have the solid particle content is around 40%, and then the remaining is liquid, so it's mean that this we have a slurry condition. Yeah, in the case that slurry condition, so we cannot use the mechanical conveyor or other type of pneumatic. Also, we cannot do that one. Yeah. So what we have to do, yeah, for the slurry transportation is usually we treat this transportation similar to the gas or liquid, which mean that in the slurry transportation, yeah, it will conduct it inside the pipeline system. Yeah, so we will use pipeline, yeah, to move slurry from the one point to the other point. Yeah, how to move that slurry fluid? Yeah, for the movement, the driving force is coming from the centrifugal pump or reciprocating pump. Yeah, so we use the mechanical pump, yeah, to move, to give the force, yeah, from the one point to the other point. Yeah, because in case of the slurry, we treat it similar like gas fluid or liquid fluid. Yeah, that one is for the slurry transportation. So we rely on the head, okay, or the discharge of the pump, yeah, to bring or to move the slurry component or slurry particle from one point to the other point. And then for the slurry transportation, we have also another requirement, for example, in terms of the speed or the velocity of the slurry movement. We usually, the speed is in between 4 until 5 meter per second. 4 until 5 meter per second is called sometimes is quite very slow. Because usually when you look at the gas velocity inside the pipeline, usually has the velocity around 20 meter per second. But in this case, for the slurry movement, for the slurry velocity inside the pipeline is usually only 4 till 5 meter per second. Why it's very low? Because it consists of the solid particle. When the movement of this fluid is very high, it can make a abrasion. It will be very abrasive, and in the case that the abrasive condition, it will make your pipeline becoming thinner and thinner. So we have to avoid this condition. So that is the reason the velocity is 4 until 5 meters per second. Sometimes someone asks, why not is reducing the flow rate, for example, only 1 or 2 meter per second? Is it possible to do that one? Remember, in the slurry condition, we have solid particle. We also try to avoid for deposition of the solid particle inside the pipeline. So again, in this case, there is a balance in terms of the speed. We try to avoid the abrasion of that pipeline, abrasive pipeline, and also we try to avoid the deposition of the particle inside the pipeline. So best practice for the velocity for the slurry transportation is around 4 till 5. So not in the slower. Not also higher than 4.4 till 5 meter per second. This one is the slurry transportation. So I can conclude in here that the slurry transportation is usually conducted in pipeline system, closed system, by using the pump. And then I will move to this one. This one is the belt conveyor. And then this belt is usually made from the rubber. So we can bend. The reason why we use the rubber, because in this position we have to bend the belt. Wait a moment. Why I cannot use the pointer? But it's okay, I think. We can bend this belt. And then the speed of this belt conveyor is depending on the rotation of this side. We want to reduce the velocity. So it means that we will have to reduce the rotation of this cylinder. There are many types. For example, this one is horizontal. And then this one is when we have the inclination. But again, it is limited to 20 degree in terms of the slope or the inclination. And then this one, for example, the position, it is from the side view. And then this one, we can see that this one is the belt, the rubber belt. And then this one is the roller. And then we put material on the top above the belt. So to avoid what is the material not to go to the side part. So the you can see here that is the wing roll. Is about slightly in the inclined condition. Yeah, so to avoid the bulk material go to the left or to the right side when it moves. Yeah, so this kind of system is usually used for the belt conveyor. Okay, and then the second one is a screw conveyor. We also have this one in our laboratory. Yeah, if you visit the food laboratory in the first floor, yeah, we have a screw conveyor. Yeah, it means that is we put the material in this hopper. Yeah, and then following the movement of this screw, helix screw. Yeah, and then the solid particle will move. Yeah, from the back side to the front side. Yeah. Okay, and then the screw conveyor also help to segregate the solid particle when we have, for example, in the agglomerate form. Yeah, because of this movement of this helix structure. Yeah, we break that agglomerate particle into the smaller one. Yeah, so that is the reason in the market, yeah, or industrial application, there are many type of helix pattern of this screw. Yeah, sometimes look like the B, C, D, or E. Yeah, so it's depend on the particle, solid particle, whether we fit the, for example, wet solid particle or dry solid particle. Yeah, so it will have a different type in terms of the what is the helix blade. Yeah, for example, this one. Yeah, and this one is for the screw conveyor. And then the another type is the belt ship conveyor. Yeah, belt type. It is similar, look like you use your jacket. Yeah, your jacket is usually have the zipper. Yeah, so it is the same like that one. So when we put the material, yeah, when we put material in, so it's the material is will go to inside this zip, what is or inside this cage. Yeah, so the zipper is used to lock this cage. Yeah, the reason why we have to lock this one, okay, because it is unlocked, so it means that the solid particle can go away from this cage. So we have to lock this one by a zipper system. Yeah, so if you already have the zipper system, so it means that this your solid particle will remain inside this cage, yeah, inside this cylinder, yeah, from one point to the other point. So it means that the zipper system is to make or to ensure, yeah, that solid particle is located inside this cage. Yeah. So for example, this one, you bring that particle, yeah, from this one, yeah, and then it will go up, and then you unzip, yeah, in this position. So because you unlock this cage, so the solid particle can go out from this cage. Yeah. Okay, and then this one is the zipper type conveyor. Yeah, this one is almost similar actually with the screw type conveyor. Yeah, this is a drag type conveyor. Yeah, so in this drag type conveyor, yeah, we employ to use the kind of the plate in here. Yeah, so like this one. Yeah, like this one. Yeah, so this plate will move or will push this solid particle, yeah, from the back side to the front side. Yeah, so that's why we call it as the drag type. Yeah, because this one, yeah, will bring about the solid particle, yeah, push this solid particle by this plate, yeah, from the back side to the front side of that what is this conveyor. Yeah, so this one is the drag type conveyor. Okay, And then this one, the one that we see also in the video, is type of the bucket elevator. So it's mean that we have a series of a bucket. Yeah, that bucket will collect all the solid particle. Okay, and then the movement of the bucket is usually from the below side to the top side. Yeah, so this one, the bucket elevator, is usually used in the type of the transportation of solid in the vertical way. Yeah, not in the horizontal one. If they use the horizontal one, is usually the type is the belt conveyor. But in the case of the vertical, yeah, the bucket conveyor will be very helpful to do that one. Yeah, so you put your solid particle in here, and then the bucket, yeah, will bring that solid particle, yeah, to the top side of the system, and then you discharge this one in the top side. Yeah, usually silo, for example, yeah, because the silo is very high, and then you discharge it at the top of the silo. Yeah. Okay, this is the bucket elevator, and then yeah, do you have any question regarding with this process equipment of solid transfer?
Sir, I want to ask.
Yes, please.
Maybe you have explained how each transfer equipment works, but how do we know which one to choose during a process plan? In the process plan.
Okay, okay. How do we select which one is the best for our solid particle or the our process condition? Yes, it's good question actually. But first we have to define, yeah, to define what type of the particle that we have. Yeah, I can divide it into two. Yeah, whether our particle is first, is it slurry or not? Yeah, is it wet or dry? In the case of the our solid particle in the slurry condition, it means that it's mixed with the, for example, the water or any liquid. Yeah, so we have to select the slurry transportation. We don't have any option. Just use the solid transportation, which means that we would like to use the piping system. Yeah, that the movement is driven by pump. Yeah, whether okay, reciprocating pump or centrifuge pump. Yeah, this is the option only for the slurry. Yeah, we don't have any choice regarding with the slurry condition. Yeah, slurry condition, it means that we have to use the closed pipeline system driven by pump. Okay, now the second, how about when we have not non-slurry condition? For example, our solid particle is already dry. Okay, or dry enough to be transported by using the mechanical system. Yeah, so when our solid particle is quite dry, please look at the size. Yeah, the size of the particle. The particle size is very small, very big, or in the middle. Yeah, in the case that the solid particle is, for example, that is a combination between the very small one or there's some part is a bigger one. For example, in terms of coal. Yeah, in the case of the coal, you cannot make it in the very what is very homogeneous in terms of the size. For example, the size it will be 100 micron or 60 micron or 40 mesh or 100 mesh. You cannot do that one. Usually when we have coal, yeah, it's will the range of the size of the coal will be varied, okay, from the smaller one to the what is the higher bigger one. So it's mean that this, if we cannot adjust that one in the very good manner in terms of size, yeah, we cannot apply the pneumatic. So we delete one of the option that we cannot use the pneumatic. So we can use only the mechanical. Because why? Because in the case of the pneumatic, yeah, we can only use the pneumatic when the size of the solid particle is very small and should be homogeneous in the very small particle. So it's mean that if you have the very big solid particle, it will not go up. Yeah. So we already what is the cancel one option when we have the for example, the distribution of the solid particle dimension is not in the homogeneous form. Okay. Now, when we have the homogeneous form, for example, okay, how about if the size is quite big? Still, in the case of size is quite big, we cannot use pneumatic. Okay, we cannot use the pump. For example, yes, pump is only for the liquid. Remember that the pump is only for the liquid. We cannot use the slurry transportation system for that dry solid particle. Okay, in the case that the particle is quite big, so we have option related with the inclination. Whether the inclination is bigger, higher than the 20% or less than 20%. Okay. In the case that less than 20%, okay, less than 20%, so the option will be belt conveyor. But in the case that the inclination or the slope is higher than 20%, so the option it will be the bucket elevator. Why? Because if you use the belt conveyor for the inclination or the slope higher than 20%, so the solid particle tends to what is the go down, okay, to slip, okay, to slip, move back to the what is the down part area, okay. So it's depending the inclination. Yeah, whether horizontal. If it's horizontal, it's really that you can have a belt conveyor. Yeah. So this is the way that we what is classify or select the which one of that conveyor that we will use for the solid transportation. Yeah. Is it clear?
Clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Is there any question regarding this transfer of solid? Okay, if it's there is no more question, okay, I think for the transfer of solid equipment is already enough, and then I will move to the next material, which is solid related equipment. Okay, okay. How about this slide is already seen in your laptop? Okay, the new slide.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's we continue about the solid related equipment. Okay, and then I will start with the solid storage. Okay, this one is also for very important. Okay, when we have the product in solid or we have the feedstock in the solid form. Okay, so we require a solid storage. For example, okay, solid storage used in the fertilizer industry. Okay, when we have, for example, urea fertilizer. Urea fertilizer is usually the form is in grain, okay, very small grain, okay, or usually for the food or feed industry, okay, both, okay, usually have the solid storage, okay, to store their food product or the feed product, okay. Also for the chemical industry that based on the solid particle, for example, for the energy, okay, they will require also the solid storage. Okay, some industry, for example, in the mining industry, okay, sometimes also in industry that apply the coal for the generation of the power, okay, they will have solid storage. Yeah, so it's very important, okay, to understand about the solid storage. Yeah, so what is the function of this solid storage? Yeah, for sure, this one is to store the solid particle, yeah, before we move that solid particle from the other point or the other process. Yeah, so we have to store this one. Yeah, and then some other function for the solid storage, actually sometimes solid storage have to be able to maintain, okay, the quality of the solid particle itself. Okay, what does it mean by the maintain the quality of the particle? Sometimes if we store solid particle, okay, the water content is increasing. Why is increasing? Yes, because the water content is coming from the moisture of the surrounding area. Yeah, so we have to keep that moisture in very, sometimes is in very low condition. Yeah, for example, when you store the coal, yeah, in the solid storage, yeah, and you not maintain the quality of moisture inside the solid particle, yeah, it will reduce the heating value of the coal when you burn that coal. Yeah, so during this to storing that coal particle, yeah, usually we what is we also maintain the dry gas of that stored particle, yeah, and then sometimes also the solid storage have to avoid the agglomeration. Yeah, because if your particle have very strong interaction, yeah, it tends to agglomerate. Yeah, so there is another function for the storage, has to avoid that kind of that agglomeration. Yeah, so we will look at the solid storage system. Yeah, so the function, the main function actually to store the solid, yes, it's correct. Yeah, and then how to do that one? Okay, so there is many way. Yeah, there is many system for the storage system. Yeah, let's look at the video that we already have in the YouTube. Yeah, and then yeah, this one is the for solid storage. Okay. The first type of the solid storage is the, okay, this one is the flat bottom silo. Okay, flat bottom, it's mean that in the bottom, okay, the shape will be flat like this one. Okay, the opposite of the flat bottom is a hopper. Okay, it's a conical. Okay, that's called as the hopper. Okay, but in this example we have the flat bottom. Okay, this is the way. Okay, if you look at this one, I will a bit back. Okay, this one. This is the way for us actually to avoid that agglomeration. Yeah, sometimes we put a kind of the blade, yeah, a kind of the, okay, kind of the, yes, a blade, yeah, that rotates, yeah, inside the solid particle, yeah, to avoid that kind of agglomeration. If we store the solid particle in a very long time, yeah, sometimes that interaction is very strong, the cohesion interaction, okay, and then after that, the solid particle is look like stone, okay, big solid particle, and then very difficult to segregate. Okay, so we required in here, okay, is a kind of that way to destroy or to break that kind of that agglomeration. Okay, to maintain that the particle will be still in this smaller size. Okay. Yeah, this is a flat bottom silo. Yeah, usually for the solid storage, we call it as the silo. Yeah, not tank. Yeah, tank is usually for that liquid. Yeah, liquid tank. Yeah, something like that one. And then we need the aeration fan again to maintain the moisture. Yeah, so to maintain the moisture, we required a aeration tank. Aeration pump, yeah, something like that one. Fan. Okay, so it is from the inside of the silo. Okay, so there will be a hole, okay, to maintenance. Okay, this one is to maintain the moisture, okay, and also the pressure. Okay, and then the second type is a hopper. Yeah, if you have at the bottom part is like this conical form, so that's called as the hopper. Yeah, hopper is usually used, yeah, to store the solid particle. Yeah, but we can take out the particle from the bottom of that storage or silo. Yeah, so in order to do that one, yeah, so we required a conical, yeah, to direct the outlet of that solid particle only in one point. Yeah, that's why that is the reason. Okay, the dimension or the shape of this hopper is in the conical. Yeah, this is the principle. We put the particle enters from the top side of this hopper. Okay, and there will be a valve. Okay, usually this one is a rotary valve. Okay, is to discharge the product. Okay, the movement of this rotary valve uh, will drive the velocity of or the speed of the solid particle out from this hopper. Yeah, but sometimes we can see this kind of problem. What of this problem? This problem called as the red hole problem. Ya, atau lubang tikus, red hole. Ya, red hole problem. What's the meaning of the red hole problem? You can see here, okay, that still we have the solid particle, okay, in this side. This solid particle, it will not go out from this rotary valve. Okay, it will stick in the side of this hopper. Okay, so it means that is although we know that still there is a solid particle inside this hopper. Okay, we cannot discharge, we cannot take out this solid particle from this silo because it's already stick each other. Okay, this is the problem of the cohesion interaction between the solid particle. Okay, that it's make it very difficult. Okay. So this one is called as the red hole problem atau or lubang tikus. So it's mean that is you can see in here, yeah, when we yeah, the solid particle entrance from the top. Okay. Okay, this is the hopper. Yeah. Okay, this is the way that we try to avoid that kind of problem, rat hole problem, lubang tikus problem. Yeah, by to use the fit distribution, for example, this one. Yeah, and then divider in this one. Yeah, by using this one, yeah, we will have yeah, a way to avoid that kind of problem that we are facing, yeah, from the previous, which called as the red hole problem. This one is from one silo to the other silo. Okay, and then this type is a bunker silo. Yeah, if we require very big storage system, okay, for example, to store the coal for 1 month or 2 months of the operation, okay, we cannot use the cylindrical silo, okay, because it will be very big, that cylinder. So in order to do that one, okay, we have to install so-called the bunker silo. Okay, bunker silo is also used in the mining industry. Okay, to store the product of their mining process. Okay. Mm, okay, this is quite simple actually to do that bunker silo. Yeah, just provide this kind of the system. Yeah, this one is to provide for that aeration at the possible in order to maintain the again to maintain the moisture. Okay, just put a kind of the baffle in here. Okay, this one is we can put that is the barrier or baffle in here. Okay, to avoid that your solid will go out from this system. Okay, and then yeah, this one. Okay, for the mining industry, usually they use to store that metal that already produced. Okay, by using this way. Okay, so this one is silo. Can and then we have the bunker system. Okay. If you require a very huge amount in terms of that storage system, the bunker system will be a good option. Okay, so this fan is used to again, okay, to maintain the moisture of that.
When you want to store data on.
Okay, that one is that for the hopper and silo. Do you have any question before I start the slide? No question. So again, I will go to the slide. We already answered what is the function of the solid storage, okay, and then how to do that one from this video. You can already see how we can do in terms of the solid storage, okay. So in terms of the solid storage, usually there are two types, okay. The first one is the hopper, okay, and then the second one is the bin. Okay, bin is look like bucket, okay, that you have. For example, that flat bottom bin, yeah, the one that the first video that you already see, yeah, is usually called as the bin. Yeah, bin is actually same with look like the liquid tank or something like that one. Yeah, but for the solid system, usually we use terminology of bin. Yeah. And then this is the schematic figure for the hopper. Yeah, we have the conical system in the bottom of this storage. Yeah, and then we put the material from the top. Yeah, from this line. Okay, and then at the bottom we also provide the rotating valve. Yeah, which is it is the point that we can discharge the solid particle from this cylindrical hopper. Yeah, and then we have also this is one is the belt conveyor to transport the solid particle, yeah, from the outlet point of this hopper, yeah, to the next process. Yeah. And then we already see from the video, yeah, that we are facing about the problem of red hole. This one, yeah. So in the red hole problem, yeah, we have the very stagnant material in the side of this hopper, yeah, which is it will stick to the to the hopper itself. Yeah, so this becoming a problem because it will reduce, yeah, the amount of that capacity of the hopper. And then the second one, yeah, remember that this one is still solid product. Yeah, so if we cannot discharge this solid product, so it will be also what is costly. Yeah. And then the other problem is related with the bridging. What is bridging? Yeah. In the case that this red hole, the stagnant material is in the side part of the hopper, yeah, but still that we can create a product, we can discharge the product from this area. But in the case that the bridging, it's a worse case, okay, more worse than the red hole condition. Why? Because the stagnant material, yeah, block the system, yeah, block the outlet. So even though that we can and we put the solid material, okay, the solid material cannot go out from this point, yeah, at the bottom of this conical system. Yeah, because why? Usually both red hole and the bridging is due to the strong interaction, cohesion interaction between the particle. So they stick each other very strong, yeah, and it's very difficult to segregate. Okay, why that strong solid interaction happen? The first one, the reason is due to the presence of the water. Yeah, the water can create the very strong segregation, strong agglomeration between particle. The second, because we put that material inside the storage in a very long period. Yeah, if we put too long, so again it will can also create very strong agglomeration. Yeah, so that's why the first video, yeah, in the flat bottom what is video, yeah, silo, they put a kind of the system, yeah, that rotates a kind of plate, yeah, inside the solid particle, actually to avoid this kind of agglomeration, yeah, strong interaction between the particle. Yeah, so this kind of a problem that we are facing in the case that we have stagnant material or strong interaction material. Okay, in general, when we have a hopper, yeah, so we will material coming from the truck, for example, yeah, and then it's discharged from the truck, and then by using the vertical bucket elevator, yeah, it will bring from the bottom side to the top side, yeah, the below part to the top part of the system. Yeah, this is not number one, it actually should be number two. Yeah, bucket elevator. Yeah, and then from this bucket elevator, Okay, the material will enter this solid storage, okay, from this filling pipe. Okay, and then the outlet will maintain by this rotary valve, okay, so-called sliding discharge door, okay, and then this number 6 will collect of the outlet of this particle. Okay, this system is very common in the cement industry. Yeah, when you buy cement, actually that they already prepare so many hopper, so many silo, something like this one. Okay, and then at the this below part, okay, usually the truck is ready to receive the cement coming from this hopper or this bin. Okay. And then for this storage system, there is a system for the feeder. Okay, feeder is used actually to, yeah, from the name we already know, this is the feeder system. Okay, one of the function of the feeder is actually to maintain or to control, okay, the rate of the solid coming to the solid storage, and also to segregate the possible agglomeration. Okay, so this one, okay, as you know, that is from this one, there is a regulating gate. Regulating gate, this one is to control the velocity, okay, the amount of the solid particle entering the solid storage. Okay, so when we increase, okay, make it this gate is more bigger, so it means that more solid particle will enter the storage. Okay, but if we put this one in the more closer, okay, so it means that less solid particle will enter the solid particle, the storage. Okay, or we have a kind of this one. Okay, it's controlled by this plate. Yeah, so the speed of the plate, the rotation of this plate, yeah, this plate will control the flow of that solid particle enter the solid storage. Yeah, so this is system show you that how to manage, how to control the velocity of the solid particle entering the storage. Okay. And how to about the one that agglomeration that I mentioned. Yeah, sometimes they put the screw in here. For example, this one. Yeah, this screw actually is used as a two function. Yeah, to segregate the agglomeration and also the control the velocity, because when you control the speed rotation of this helix screw, okay, so it means that you also control the flow rate of the solid to the storage. Yeah, and then this one is provided, we provide the baffle, yeah, in order to avoid the solid particle go from this left or the right side. Yeah, so this kind the same. Yeah, and also we have the another way, okay, to control the way of that solid particle goes to the solid, actually by maintaining this open gate, close, open. Okay, it's depend on the direction of this gate. Okay, and then another way, okay, to do that one, it's also controlling the inclination of the feeder. Okay, when we have the slope in the higher degree, so it's mean that the velocity will be higher as well. Okay, I mean that the amount of the solid particle goes to the solid storage, it will be higher. But if the inclination or the slope is almost horizontal, okay, so the movement of the particle will quite very slow. Okay, so this is the way of the feeder maintaining the or controlling the velocity of that solid particle. Okay, and then this one is the example that very big, very tall silo. Okay, that is consists of the roof and then the cylindrical cell, yeah, and also have the conical hopper section, yeah, to discharge the product. Okay, this is the just the figure. Okay, I think for the size reduction and the agglomeration, I will deliver this material for next week. Okay, because I also prepare that the video, but the video is not yet ready. Yeah, so I think that's I will do this one for the next week. So do you have any question for these two material that we have discussed for today, which is the first one is related with the solid transportation, and then the second one is about the solid storage and feeder. Okay. Any question?
Sir, can I ask?
Yes, please.
How to prevent volatile duster when storing fine grains of solid materials to prevent explosion?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Very good question. Yeah, explosion of the dust is very common. Yeah, in the what is in the solid processing. Yeah, because actually that even for the product that usually not consist of the very dangerous material. Okay, if it's the very dangerous material, yes, it's common. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's also happen in the, for example, milk industry. I ever heard. Yeah, there is explosion occur in the milk industry. Yeah, what happened during in the milk industry? Yes, they sometimes they create milk powder. Yeah, and then and so many milk powder, and then they have to avoid the dust explosion. Yeah, the explosion that is occur when we have the fire. Okay, ignition by fire. Okay, and then it goes okay, it ignite, and then the dust is easily to be exploded. Yeah, this is a very common. So to avoid that one, actually that the first that they have to do, yeah, they have to maintain about the circulation of that air inside that system. Yeah, this is the first one that they have to do. Yeah, to maintain the flow. Usually, yeah, the direction of the air is not goes to the upside, but to the downside to avoid that kind. So it's mean that is when we have a system, yeah, that will produce a dust, yeah, try to suck about that one, yeah, in the way that is it will not disperse. So directly, if you produce a dust, yeah, the system can directly reduce the dispersion of that dust, yeah. For example, by vacuum system or other system, yeah. The vacuum is probably the best way to do that one. Okay, yeah. That is the, and then the second one, yeah, we conducted in the chamber that we certain that there will be ignition of the electric, or there will be no ignition in terms of fire. Okay, yeah. So that is the reason. For example, in the spray dryer, okay, in the spray dryer, okay, they will put the very close system, okay, in the spray dryer. It means that is usually the the powder is coming from the slurry. Slurry is coming from the top. Okay, so they spray similar like dryer that we already learned in the last week. Okay, they spray that slurry, and there will be a contact between that slurry and then gas, and then that gas bring also the dust, but directly sucks in the top. Okay, so there will be no accumulation of the dust. Okay, and then the solid that has correct dimension or correct size, it will go down. Yeah, it will go down, and then they will start in the proper manner. Yeah, so in this system, in this spray dryer, yeah, they will not use any system that can create the spark of the electricity and also the spark of fire. Yeah, so this is the way that we can do to avoid the dust. What is dust? What is explosion for that one? Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? So this is the reason that we provide for every silo. Okay, yes, we provide what is the fan. Okay, to control the that related with the moisture. Okay, also to control that when we have the very concentrate amount of the volatile solid particle or the very concentrated amount of the dust, yeah, so there will be we will discharge that one. Okay, so a kind of the suction, a kind of the vacuum pump, but it will not really vacuum. Yeah. Okay, is there any question the today material? Okay, if there is no question for this material, I think we can stop for today class. Thank you very much for your attention, and then see you next week. So for the next week, we will discuss or we will be talk about the size reduction and agglomeration. Okay, not only the size reduction, but sometimes we need the big size of the product in terms of solid. Yeah, for example, for the tablet, yeah, for the vlog product, yeah, we need the agglomeration. So we will discuss it next week. Okay, thank you very much and have a nice day.